Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. Some sad news this morning. You probably already heard this news. It broke yesterday. Clint from Kaitlyn Bristowe's season of The Bachelorette has passed away. Kaitlyn said it's an absolute tragedy. We don't know all the details, respectfully, but we will comment and share with you what Kaitlyn Bristowe said on her Instagram stories regarding Clint and some other Bachelor alumni. All right, so let's get right into the story right now. Bachelorette alum Clint Arlis, dead at 34. Nick Viall pays tribute, taken far too soon. The architectural engineer's death was announced Thursday on Twitter by his high school wrestling coach, Scott Bayer of Batavia, Illinois, who shared some memories of the Batavia High School alum and his time on the team and touched on his professional wrestling career. It's with a heavy heart and a sense of profound loss that we announce the death of one of the Batavia wrestling program's all-time greats, 2005 graduate Clint Arlis. Clint was the beloved son of Coach Tom Arlis and his wife Jamie, protective, loving older brother of his sister Taylor, and the boyhood idol and best friend of his kid brother, Coach Logan Arlis. I've come to know Clint over the years since I joined Tom's coaching staff and the Batavia wrestling family in the late fall of 2005 after his graduation. I have found him to be extraordinarily devoted to his family and deeply committed to the sports wrestling at a level few of us have ever reached in our careers. So there that is. Let's go to what Kaitlyn Bristowe had to say about Clint.
All right. This is an Instagram story I did not think I'd be doing tonight, but Clint, who was on my season of The Bachelorette, I'm going to say tragically, he's tragically passed, 34 years old. I'm not sure what happened, how it happened. All I want to say is that from knowing him on the show, even though, things didn't end on the best terms for us, from his time on the show till today, I have heard nothing but incredible things about that person, from his peers, his students, his coaches, his teachers, his friends, his family. Clint was very well respected in his world, and it is an absolute tragedy of what's happened, and I just don't know much right now, and it's none of my business. This Instagram story is literally to just say to anyone who knows him, who might follow me, that I am so sorry. It's such a huge loss, and I'm honestly just beside myself at this news. So if there's anything I can do, I don't know what I could do, but anything at all, please let me know, and let's all just say a prayer or be there for Clint's family during this time. Gosh, I'm just so sorry.
Words from Kaitlyn Bristowe. Kaitlyn wasn't the only person who has commented. A bunch of people have. Nick Viall says, just heard of the passing of Clint. I got a chance to get to know Clint a little after our time on Kaitlyn's season, and I always enjoy our time and conversations. A very kind, unique, and talented person who was taken from this world far too soon. Some Reddit. I went to Google, and one of the prompted questions was, are JJ and Clint still together? And it made me laugh and then get sad. So if you guys don't know this storyline, it was made, I would say, with innocent fun, but in hindsight, we see that the Bachelor producers were a little reckless here. Nothing that Clint did wrong. Bachelorette's Clint. I love JJ. I feel like I've connected with JJ more than Kaitlyn. So the show labeled this or teased this as the Brokeback Bachelor, which is a reference to a homosexual relationship that took place in the movie Brokeback Mountain. Now, we know this now to be considered queer baiting, and that term, and correct me if I'm wrong, is when a show or a movie will tease that there's a gay storyline, even if there won't be, in an attempt to either sell tickets or increase viewership or that. And that's exactly what Bachelor producers did. They essentially took B-roll of two guys that were forming a bromance, a male friendship, which isn't some wild conspiracy, just two guys that got to know each other and really became good friends, and they edited it in a way that would make it look like they were falling in love during Kaitlyn's season. Of course, wasn't the case at all. With all the downtime in the Bachelorette mansion, Clint and JJ bonded over music, hot tubs, and being self-described brainiacs and villains. The big saying that they had was villains got a vill. Clint was dubbed the Brokeback Bachelor by ABC in promos that aired last week, insinuating a romance was brewing between JJ and Clint. To be fair, Clint did say in the promo that falling in love with a man never crossed my mind. Gosh, who knows? I mean, how much footage they have that they can make you say anything. Clint later took to social media to jokingly apologize to his father. So, Clint and JJ are two peas in a pod, said fellow contestant Justin Reich, adding that the two hang out in the pool together, cook together, eat together, and just sit on the couch together. I'll tell you this. I think what a lot of people love about The Bachelor is that you get to see friendships emerge. Not just the final, maybe Kaitlyn and Sean Booth. Obviously, they didn't work out, but she's now with Jason Tartick. But you get to see happiness and heartbreak, Tayshia and Zach. You get to see things, relationships play their full course. But you also get to see friendships get made. And you don't always keep in touch with them over time, and they go back to their lives, and some become influencers for a few years, and then some have a tiny bit of fame or a couple thousand followers that chart their journey. Clint in 2015, this is kind of pre-big social media. The pinnacle of Instagram following was Hannah Brown and like Pilot Pete, their kind of era of the Bachelor franchise. But he clearly left a strong mark on the people that he surrounded himself with. So we'll sort of cherish him and honor him with the phrase they coined, "Villains got a Vil." So here's I mean, of course we say villain lightly because it's like, obviously seems like was a pretty stand-up guy. But again, we don't know any information about his death. Incredibly sad. I remember the friendship he had with JJ on the show, the original and best bromance. He seemed like such a kind and fun guy. I feel for his family and friends. JJ got married a couple years back. Clint was a groomsman. All right, there you go. Clint was a groomsman at JJ's wedding. 34 is just way too young. Tragic. His poor family. An iconic bromance. So here's to an iconic bromance. Some villains that were able to, still leave their mark in a good way. So Villains got a Vil. More content coming our way today. If we have any updates, we'll share them with you guys. Otherwise, stay tuned for more content on this Friday.